Hello everybody, lovely to see you again. We thought we would do an assembly for you, didn't we, Billy? Yeah. So hello if you're at home watching this, and hello if you're at school watching this. Fantastic. So have any of you done one of these, a rainbow, and stuck it in your window? Anyone done one of these? These weren't done by me, they were done by Poppy and Olivia, and they did these so that I could put them in my window because they noticed I didn't have any rainbows. So thank you to them for doing these, which is brilliant. So they're fantastic, but I wonder if you've done one yourself. So a rainbow, and these rainbows are amazing because they're signs of hope for us at the moment, aren't they? They've become a symbol, a sign of hope that, you know, this time, this funny time that we're in, that hopefully it will end soon and that we'll be okay. Cool. So hopefully you've done one of those. If you haven't, have a go and do one, or do one for someone in your street. Brilliant. So I wonder what our hopes actually are at the moment. So I've got a little challenge for you. Why don't you draw one of these on a piece of paper, a hope bubble, hopes bubble, and it's like the bubbles coming out of your head, and I want you to think, what are your hopes at the moment? Okay, what are your hopes for this time? And I know when I'm going out and I'm doing my big clap, I've got lots of hopes. I often do this with the pan because my hands get worn out, but I've got lots of hopes that all of us together, we can help this time to end. And I've got lots and lots of hopes for the future. Things like, I'd love to go on a trip out a bit further than Wick. That'd be cool. Maybe I've got some other hopes for this time. So draw your little bubble and go for it. Go and sort of, you know, draw all your things, draw your stuff around it of hopes that you've got for the next few weeks, months. Okay, you could write them, you could draw them. So when you're ready, press pause. Billy's gone very sleepy, I don't know whether you can see him, but press pause and go for it and have a go with your hopes. Great, well here's ours, isn't it, Billy? This is ours that we've done, and we've got our hopes here. So I hope that maybe a vaccine will be found for COVID-19. I hope that less people get ill. I hope that maybe we'll be able to go on a holiday or go on some trips. I hope that the world is a better place from all the stuff that we've gone through recently. I hope that we get to see our family and friends, and I hope that someone I know will get better who's been ill. I hope that we get to go back to school soon because it would be really nice to see you all. And yeah, I hope the lockdown ends soon too. So that's lots of my hopes. Wonder if they're similar to your hopes that you had. Great. Now then, I've been thinking, I wonder who could help with our hopes. Who could help those hopes to happen? And there's lots of people that we go out and we clap, bang, 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 bang on my pans, okay, that can actually help with our hopes, isn't there? Lots of people. And I wonder if you could make one of these. So I've got two little ones. Here we go. And in a minute, press pause. Make one of these, and what I want you to do is maybe colour in the people or write names of the types of people who you think could help us with our hopes. So it might be teachers. They could carry on helping us. They've been amazing, haven't they? And they could help us for the future. Or maybe it's politicians, people in charge of the country. You could draw them or write their names on there. And what I'd love you to do, as you do that, either just be thinking, right, I'm really thankful for these people, or you could pray for them in your head and think, yeah, I'm going to pray for my teachers, I'm going to pray for the politicians, these people that can help us with our hopes. So is that okay? So do as many as you can, write names on, draw, colour them in, and just think and be thankful for them. And if you want to, maybe you could pray for them as you do that. Okay, so you get them ready, press, pause, and go for it. Go, go, go. Great, well I haven't done all the colouring in, but I have written some names of people that I think can help us with our hopes for this time. And I've put the delivery people making sure we still get fed. That's really good. I've got shop workers, they are doing an amazing job. And I could have put loads of these: teachers, politicians, doctors, nurses, scientists. They're going to be important, aren't they, with helping us with our hopes for the future. Maybe it's family, you know, helping and being part of our lives. And then I've put all of us, because all of us can help with our hopes for the future, can't they? Brilliant. So that's all of my little things. Now, I've been thinking about this symbol of hope. And I've been thinking about a story that you all know really, really well, of when, you know, a rainbow appeared. And it's one of the first stories to include a rainbow. And it's a story from way, way, way back. A story that Christians believe actually happened. So I thought I would read it to you. So make sure you sit comfortably, and I am going to read it. Let's get Billy here like that. There we go. We ready? It's called A New Beginning. Time passed and many people filled the earth. Everyone, everywhere, had forgotten about God and were only doing bad things all the time. God's heart was filled with pain when he saw what had happened to the world he loved. Everywhere was disease and death and destruction, all the things that God hates most. Now Noah was God's friend, which was odd in those days, because no one really talked to God or was God's friend. And he just loved being with God, like you do with your best friend. Noah, God said, things have gone wrong. People have filled my world with hate instead of love. They are destroying themselves and each other and my world. I must stop them. First, we'll build an ark, a massive boat. Wow. And do you know how to build a boat? Noah didn't either. Luckily, God did know how. And he said, right, I will show you. So look, there's the plans for Noah's boat that he was going to build. Right, let's find out what he did. You ready, Billy? Look, a storm is coming, God told Noah. But I will rescue you. I promise. And I'll send the animals to you, ones that creep and crawl and slither and slime and gallop and hop and bound and climb. And don't forget to pack everyone's food for all of the animals. The storm was going to wash away all the hate and sadness and everything that had gone wrong and make the world clean again. God had thought up a way to keep Noah safe, but Noah would have to trust God and do exactly what God told him. So Noah built an ark, short for a very large boat. Noah's neighbours came out to watch. You see Noah's neighbours? And they were laughing at him. Bit nasty, really. They didn't believe Noah about the boat or the storm or needing to be rescued. And Noah must have looked rather silly. His boat was huge and it was in the desert. There was nowhere near the sea and there wasn't even a cloud in the sky. Why would anyone need an umbrella here, let alone a boat? You can see Noah really high up building his boat. Very hard job. And look, whoa, we put all the animals in the boat. But Noah didn't mind what people thought. He really minded what God thought. So he just did what God told him to do. And when the ark was ready, God said, all aboard. And Noah's family and all the animals climbed inside. And then God shut the door. Boom. Let's have a look what happened next. And it started raining. For minutes that joined up into hours, that joined up into days, that joined up into weeks, and the rain joined up into puddles, that joined up into rivers, that joined up into lakes, that joined up into a flood that covered the whole world. Their boat that had once seemed so big suddenly seemed very small. But in the middle of the huge storm, in the crashing waves, in all the thunder and the storm and the lightning, through it all, God was with them, and God kept them safe. He was their hope. He was with them through it all, and He kept them safe for 40 long days and 40 long nights. Finally, the rain stopped. The sun came out, and Noah threw open the windows. Hurrah! Everyone shouted. Noah sent his dove out to explore. Whoosh, went the dove, and it wasn't long before she brought back a fresh olive leaf. Everyone knew exactly what that meant. She had found a tree. The water was going down. At last, the boat landed quite suddenly on top of a great mountain. Can you see it? Boom. As soon as it was safe, God said, "Out you come." And so they did. Everyone skipping and dancing onto dry land. The first thing Noah did was to thank God for rescuing them, just as He had promised to do. Just as God had promised to do it. And the first thing God did was make another promise. I won't ever destroy the world again. And like a warrior who puts away his bow and arrow at the end of a great battle, God said, "See, I have hung up my bow in the clouds." And there in the clouds, just where the storm meets the sun, is a beautiful bow, a rainbow, made of light. It was a new beginning in God's world. Wow, what a story. And so this rainbow was a symbol of hope, that God had been with them and that He promised to be with them and to help them and to never flood the world again. It's a fantastic story, isn't it? Fantastic story where we first see this rainbow, a symbol of hope. Now I wonder, maybe you could have a think. What does that story tell us about God? And tell us about people? And tell us about us? And if you could have a think, maybe you could press pause, okay, and have a think. What does that story tell us about God? What does it tell us about people? What does it tell us about us? So press pause, have a chat with the people around you. Go for it. Great, I love that story. I love that story because I love rainbows, and it's the first story that I know of that's got a rainbow in it. The first story, one of the oldest stories. And it's a brilliant, brilliant story that reminds me, as someone who believes in God, that God gives me hope. And whatever situation we've got, whether it's a bit tricky like this lockdown and all the sad things that go on in the world and some of the things that are tricky and hard, that actually God promises that He'll be with us and He'll help us and that He can give us hope. So just like we did all our people that can give us hope, okay, I believe that God is someone who can give us a lot of hope, and that He wants us to pray to Him and ask Him to help us and to be with us and to give us hope. Okay, so we're just going to end with about 20 seconds quiet. And I want you to think about this assembly. Think about hope. And if you want to, you could pray. Maybe you could pray to God, but you don't have to. And Billy's very sleepy. You can see him. He's got his eyes closed already. So let's be quiet and let's just think and pray if you want to. 20 seconds quiet. So, a little challenge for you. Just like Poppy and Olivia did a wonderful rainbow for me. In fact, they did me the two, didn't they? They did me two pictures. Maybe there's someone in your street that you know, and you know they haven't got a rainbow, and you could do a rainbow for them. That'd be really nice. And maybe write them a really cheery message on the back. Get mum or dad or whoever you live with to help you and to put it through the door. That'd be a really nice thing to do. And maybe the people that you've done that help to give us hope, maybe you could stick those under your rainbows in your windows. That'll be a cool thing to do as well. Great. Good. Well, it's bye-bye from a sleepy Billy. Bye-bye. And bye-bye from me. And really hope to see you again soon.